Hey everybody, I've discovered in the last little while that somewhere along the line I have started entering my formative pre-grandfather years. This is the way I dressed today. Not even thinking about it, I'm not hamming this up for the camera. I am literally wearing a heavy wool cardigan with a pea cap and my tortoiseshell reading glasses because I've noticed lately that my short-term vision is going. So, all that aside, got another project. I was out and about dumpster diving again, and I found this cool looking table sitting at the side of the road. Got its own little drawer. It's all solid wood. It is antique. And it's in need of a bit of love. That's the underside. But as you can see on the top, it's had a lot of love. I've given a little test patch here, and you can see that basically I've just stripped off the lacquer and the finish, and there's a nice looking cherry-ish color to the wood. So I'm hoping I can take all this down and then sand it properly, refinish it, and once again I've got myself a nice little coffee table that I paid basically nothing for. So we're going to get started on that today. So as you can see there, it really is not taking long. I've just about got this stripped already. A bit more work. So there you go, step one complete. And now that you can see that underneath, it kind of makes you wonder again why somebody would throw this table out over a can of urethane that is beautiful underneath. It's going to look even more beautiful when it's done. I would say that is the top sanded down. And funny enough, if you get a close look at it, you can now see it's two-tone. Under all that lacquer, I did not suspect that this would be more than one color. Same type of wood, it's just one side is darker than the other. I don't know if it was cut from a different tree, but looks quite nice. So that gives you the basic idea. And I guess I will be sitting here for quite a while doing all the finer, more difficult details. I'll show you some, but this is going to take a while. Taking the drawer out, and I'm going to get the I thought that would just be a matter of unscrewing that, but I don't think it is now. There you go, screws out. Hardware's still jammed in there. It looks like it's there's a little, you see that there, there's a little nail that was holding it in at the bottom. Just put that down there. You can see I'm sort of making a mess of it there where I've been pressing too hard. Very tricky to do when I'm trying to stay with the grain going this way and then not press too hard. So it really does take, you know, sort of a touch of a surgeon to do this kind of thing. You have to respect the guys that do this for a living. sort of see, in trying to even it out, I'm just making it worse. So I'm trying to figure out what I can do now to stop that. I guess basically it's either accept it as it is or take it all off. Question is, in taking it all off, how far down do I have to go? Shouldn't be that far if I've already got the other side off. Okay, so I've got my first layer of stain on, and it's looking pretty good. Oopsie. As you can see, I'm very happy with the bottom part right now. So I don't really want to wipe it off, but let's take a look at the top part. And I think it's soaked in quite a bit. Yeah, that wood has just completely devoured that stain, because none of this is coming off. Let's see, this might come off. Nope, not much. That pretty damn good. Missed a few spots. Getting in between the cracks again. There we go. I know what I'll do for that. Get in those cracks. I will magically produce a paintbrush. Still can't get in there. So I keep looking at these little pulls, and obviously with the vinegar salt solution it's oxidized them a fair bit. Still got the pink on, but what I have done is I've taken them on my grinder on the buffing side, and I've managed to get that one fairly shiny, and I've had to go with the feed as well, and they've come out pretty nice. So I'm just going to run this one quick. Hopefully it comes out as nice as the other ones, and then show you that, and then you get an idea of the process for that one as well. You ever want to clean a grinding wheel? That's some 60 grit sandpaper. Sorry, buffing wheel. Takes it right off. Okay, the green stuff. That's my polishing compound. I'll show you this bit now. Obviously you can see that's very tarnished. There you go. So here we are a few days later, and the table is pretty much ready to go. Just give you a quick peek over there. There it is, all stained up. And now what we're going to do is put the clear coat on. So if you see my past videos, you know I went with a kind of mix of water sealer and clear coat, and that was it in the jar. Again, it's freezing temperatures here right now, so this is looking quite goopy, and I'm not sure how that's going to turn out because this is a few months old by now as well, but you can see big lumps in there. So I thought, in the interest of not screwing this table up, because I do like it, I'm going to try and use just the clear finish, which should be okay. I mean, that's the way it was designed. The only thing is, after opening this up, again, maybe with the cold weather and all, but when I went to stir it, that's what was sitting on top. So I think I'll not use that bit, but stir the rest of it up, and hopefully we'll get some of that on, see how that looks. And now that the feet are all shiny, everything's ready to go. Hopefully, yeah, just put on a couple of coats of this, put the hardware back on, and almost have a table. Okay, let's get to it. So obviously it's a bit warmer in the middle of the day. That's why you can see I got the door open. It's not quite below freezing just yet, hovering somewhere around, but we've got a couple of inches of snow on the ground. Just nice enough, I guess. So here's the goop. Oh, that does look nice. That's brought a real shine to the wood. I hope it dries like this. Because that's just made it look really nice. I'm just using a basic foam brush from the dollar store. I mean, this can does say use a nice fine bristle brush or a universal applicator. I don't know if this is a universal applicator. That was my guess, but it's what I got, so I'm going with it. How's that? I'm going to give you a real quick look of this before it does dry so you can see what the wood looks like. You can see the shine coming out in there. Obviously with it being wet it's going to look a lot nicer, but I hope it dries like this because that's really pulling out the grain. Anyway, I'll carry on with this, and I guess you'll get the fast forward treatment. Okay, there it is. That is coated. So that's got to dry. And we'll do another one. And maybe a third. We'll see how it looks. But I'm really happy with the color of the stain and the way the wood is coming out. It's night and day difference from when I first started working on this table. I mean, the finish that was on it was, it didn't show any of this, and now it seems like the wood has almost come alive with the color. I wish you could see it in person, but you know, it's just night and day compared to what it was, as far as I'm concerned. So, as I said, I'm going to let this dry and then come back and do another coat. Get the hardware back on, and we're almost done. Almost. My original plan when I had screwed up the front of the drawer and taken the veneer off was I was going to carve something in there. And I had a picture of a dragon and I had it all cut out and perfectly sized to there. And I thought, yeah, it's going to look really cool. And now I've realized with the way this has come out, it would look kind of silly to put my first ever attempt at carving into wood on the drawer and hope I didn't screw it up. So now what I'm going to do, I had watched another video. Somebody had ebonized wood by basically taking steel wool and dumping it in vinegar. And the idea is the steel wool causes some kind of chemical reaction with the vinegar and it makes the liquid come out black. I've already tried rubbing it on here. I don't know how long it takes, but I'm just sort of scratching this in and hoping something's going to happen. I did it on the back. I don't know if it's a combination of my glove that I've got on, but you can see the back has gone a bit darker. I know it's a different type of wood again, but there's the front of that piece and there's the back. So you can see it's kind of worked. I'm hoping it's going to work on the drawer too, because now I have to get this back as close as possible so I can get it to look like this. And I don't want it to stand out. So we'll give that a couple of goes. And you would think, you know, using malt vinegar, that would sort of help it along because, you know, the vinegar's brown already, but let's see how it goes. Let's rub that in there and sort of looks like it's done something. Maybe if I wipe the glove on it again. This is a beautiful grain of wood as well. It's just much lighter. And yeah, this was a blonde wood. This was very much a reddish shade. So I just want to get them, as I said, as close as I can, so it doesn't look completely off. So I'm going to play with that for a bit. My other stain, my mix of gun stock and espresso. That's added a bit of black right away. Really got to do something about this light, it's just too bright. That'll kind of do it there, and then I'll just add some red on top of that. Not quite a match, but still a lot better. Now I'll just put the other one on. All right, give that a few minutes. It's a day later, and as you can see, still working away in the garage here. With the cold weather, I found it takes a little bit longer than I had hoped. This has pretty much reached the point now where it's dry and it's ready for another coat, but it took basically the whole night to firm up. So I'm going to give that another go today. In the meantime, while I was waiting for that yesterday, I got into this one, which is another one of the older tables that I had kicking around. I can't remember if I've mentioned this one in a past video or not, but this was an old table lamp that I found probably a couple of years ago now. And as with all my other little wandering soul misfit orphan pieces of furniture, this one had seen better days. It was looking quite rough. The finish was definitely faded. It wasn't quite to anyone's liking, I guess. It had been 100 years since it was in style. So I didn't really have a use for it. My wife sort of fell in love with the idea of having a lamp on top of a table. I said, here you go, enjoy. And it sat there for a long time. And then finally over the summer, while I was busy sanding away on something else, as I so love to sand, I came across this. And I said, do you want me to sand that down for you? And she said, yes, please. So I did. And it was all ready to go. I said, here you go, all ready for the stain. And it sat there for a good while she decided which stain she wanted. Never quite got around to it with all the other things going on. But after seeing the way this table came out, she was quite happy with the color of that, and she said, could you please put the same color stain on there? So that's what's brought us to where we are now. As you can see, it's got stain, and once again, as you can see, it's got some really nice shade to it, and the wood, the grain again has come out quite well. So I'm quite happy with this one, and this same again, just needs to be coated with the the finish, that stuff. And then we'll have two tables going at once. And there it is, coat one. We'll leave that for a bit. So at last, here we are with the finished product. This is how it came out. I think I ended up going with 2 layers of the clear coat on top, the matte finish. So on top of that, I've taken my usual mineral oil, and that's what's given it the high gloss finish. Not completely high gloss, but higher gloss than it was before. Also, you can see around the edges, I didn't quite get it perfect. Like this spot here, this was a bit of sanding that went wrong. And all I did here actually was take a black Sharpie and just touch up the edges. And with the stain that's gone onto it and with the oil that's gone over it, to be honest, you don't really notice it that much unless you're right on top of it. So that's the good news. Also again, the drawer, you can see as much as that was blonde, I've gotten it fairly close to the redder wood. So again, unless you're right on top of it, you're not really going to see that too much. The brass I'm fairly happy with. Didn't get all the black stuff off, but once again, that adds a little bit to the antique look. So they're fairly clean. The feet are also fairly clean. And I'm just trying to remember which foot it was that broke away. Yeah, it was this one. You can just make out that line there. But it's being glued back on, and the brass foot will hold it on together as well. So yeah, all 4 feet polished, put back on. I didn't put oil on the legs, they actually came out fairly nice. But I think the table top will probably be oiled once in a while, just to keep it looking fresh. So overall, that's the table. There it is in the sun. That's why I brought it in here as well, so you could see the color. It's not really going to show up in the garage, it's a little too dark in there. But that's how it came out. So, pretty happy with that. If you guys are happy, if you are impressed, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe as always. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.